Welcome back everybody to another Take It Racing 2 video. In this video we're going to be looking at how I make my pixel art and the progress I've made so far in between this video and the last video. So if you don't remember, Take It Racing 2 is a Game Boy game made in GB Studio that is like a pseudo racing game. It lets you buy and sell these cute little pixel cars. You then get to race section to section in the tracks, and you don't see your cars like you would in a normal racing game. Instead, you just see your position and you get to choose how you want to drive. It's more of a management strategy game than a racing game, but the fun of it will be buying and selling cars and participating in and unlocking new races. So if you remember, I have this spreadsheet where I've tracked all the cars I want in the game. Obviously, maximum I could have 255, but if you have a look here, I've got around 223, I think, as the current. And I've moved some of these cars into beneath this because they were going to be in the game, but I've placed them where they don't need to be, and so I've removed them. And obviously, I could add them in later. And basically, they're adding to this list that goes down to 800 odd cars that won't be in the game, but obviously I had in my mind at one point. And I've got a check here to see how many I've done. So as you can see, I've done 155, and I haven't done 68. And I haven't obviously put the stats in. My idea is that I will get to the very end and have all the car art, and then I can plan out and see the range of stats that they will need. And as you can see, I tested this one out as 25 being the max stat, and then obviously if we go to the very top, then you see we have like ones and twos, and hopefully that range will be enough to make the game interesting. I will then match them to the stats of each track. So as you can see, each track here has different sections, and each section has their own stats which correspond with the car stats. And obviously this is very game designy, this is very development-y. If you are wanting to play the game, unfortunately I haven't updated this in a long time. Unfortunately it doesn't say when I posted it, but I know that I was working on it for more than a year now, which is kind of cool. And it's kind of surprising that I have only now just set up an Instagram page for the artwork. So I've been trying to think about, starting to promote the game a bit more and let people, see it outside of these videos, because I understand that these videos aren't as popular as my tutorial videos, but there are some select people who really do like these videos. So I'm trying to give them something. And as you can see, you can follow Take It Racing on Instagram, and I'll try and be posting a new car every day. I'm going to obviously record some gameplay to put on it, and maybe some, more TikTok style content where I talk about, some actual development practices. But right now, I would love to show you how I make artwork like this. And to do that, I have a video of me transforming one car into another. So obviously, to get to this stage of making a car, I had to do a lot of trial and error, but I'm going to show you what it's like for me to make a car like this one, but not this one, and get it to look like a car that I am aiming for. So obviously this car would be the Beetle. This one's obviously a Ferrari 250 GTO. This one's a Dodge Charger Daytona. This one's a Jaguar E-Type, and this one's a Porsche 917, I think. And this car we're looking at now is a Lamborghini Countach. So as you can see, I started with my other Lamborghini car, the Lamborghini Miura, and as you can see, I'm stretching the car out to fit the dimensions of the Countach. And I've got the Countach there. I've made GIMP a bit smaller so that I can see the car better, and it's always there right in front of me. And as you can see, as I'm working, I'm zooming in and out constantly so that I can assess basically what I've done with the pixel art. So as you can see, I'm adding these fender flares, and I'm using like the light color as a highlight. I had some issues with the layers there, but I figured it out and I got it all back onto the car layer. And now I'm adjusting the back. Unfortunately, the back is cut off for you guys, but I'm just making it so there's it fits the car a bit better. And now I'm adjusting the roof line, and I decided to bring it down, which obviously makes it look more sporty and streamlined. Um, and now I'm moving the wheel back. The wheel back is one of the most important parts because obviously this is a mid-engine car. Although the Miura is too, this one is much more emphasized that the cockpit is like on top of the wheels almost, right? You see the line of the A-pillar, I think it's called, going down into the front wheel. I'm obviously adding the famous vent, and obviously triangles are very hard in Pixelart, so I've obviously got it a bit more offset, which I think is fine. But yeah, I enjoyed making this one, although it was quite difficult to get right. I spent about half an hour in total, and I think that's the maximum I normally spend on a car. Sometimes it's actually 10 minutes because the car is very similar to the car I changed from. As you can see, the front here I struggled with a lot, and I keep zooming in and out because I'm never really happy with it. And obviously on the image of this Countach here, there's a little lip under the the front splitter in front of the car. And I decided to just not have that on this. The Pixels just doesn't let it happen. You see I'm adding some lights to it. I'm trying to make the wheel arch on the left side a bit more, emphasized, and I'm doing it on this side too. And I'm not really happy with it, so I think I undo it, yeah, and I squish it down a bit, but I do bring in that front bit. But yeah, as you can see, it's already taken shape. It's already, got the main stuff of it. I'm just trying to figure out the shape a bit more. And I figured out some of these tricks, like I added that little those 3 pixels to the back there, the dark green, which helps it make it look a bit more rounded, even though it's actually quite square. And now I'm adding the spoiler, obviously, and I got rid of that harsh line there. And I'm trying to figure out where the other end of the spoiler would be by duplicating it and moving it across with the wheel. Obviously, it's kind of isometric, so I'm trying to make it, not have perspective. But obviously, it kind of does. It kind of warps around a bit, which makes it look more real. As you can see, I'm on the door line. I had a black line to the bottom bit where the green is, because then you can actually see it is the door, right? And the door kind of lets you see the shape of the car. You're kind of drawing the curves of the car. And I do realize at the end here that I made the front line of the door makes it look like the wheel arch on the front is very huge. As you see there, I was comparing it to the other car, and I was just trying to pick up some of like the branding details of trying to keep it consistent. So as you can see, I've brought down the front a bit. On the other one, the front was down. Obviously, on this one, it is down more. And I'm considering, moving these are not really correct. I think I end up removing them completely, just like the other car. But yeah, there's still a lot more editing that I do. You see, I'm editing that little back bit, the little vents under in front of the rear wheel. But yeah, I think I'm now going on to the windscreen, which I think I had some problems with, but I ended up figuring it out. I think I made it more curved in the end. And with this, I had a lot of problems with this light as well. I ended up moving it back and forth, and I ended up just undoing it. You see there. But yeah, it's interesting to watch yourself back when you record yourself do pixel art, because you don't realize how much you actually maybe overthink. And as you see now, I'm stretching it out. It was kind of squished before, and I think at the end here, it does look a lot more satisfying. But yeah, I think there's still, this is what I like doing as well, is adding like a shine to make it seem like it's actually glass. And now I think I'm just cleaning up a lot of little things. I think I adjust this light here. And I think I adjust the back as well. You see the behind the back window is very dark green. And I ended up cleaning up that as well. But as you can see, it's taken shape. It doesn't look exactly like the Countach, but it does have the feeling of a mid-engine sports car with a huge wing. And that's all I'm really trying to do. I'm not trying to, just rip off a Ferrari completely. I'm trying to make it fit to pixel art and work in pixels, because otherwise I would just scale down an image, and it would be blurry. And I'm trying to make this consistent style that I can, do what I want to do with it. Again, here, you see this, I'm adjusting the light and then undoing it again. I think, as you can see, I've moved it down by 1 pixel, which actually makes it look more like the image, I think. And I wonder if I get rid of those little lights in the grill yet. And you see, I'm trying to figure out where the wheels will be. That is sometimes a hard job because you haven't really set it up correctly. And you see there, I was just checking the spreadsheet to see what I called it in the spreadsheet. I think I called it benign, and arguably I should change that. But you see, I'm trying to figure out how I'm going to do the B, and obviously I like doing font work. I undo that a few times to make sure I get it right. Squares off the B, deletes the H, moves the E in. I use the M, and I'm looking back at this now, and I realize that I should have probably taken the right side of the M to have that little flick at the bottom of the N at the end. I could probably add that in now. But yeah, that's what the car looks like in the end. So obviously I make it, say, 1978. But yeah, that you just watched was half an hour, and I just condensed into like 6 minutes, I think. And yeah, in the end, I think I'm pretty happy with it. The car looks pretty awesome. Obviously, the text around it, the S-Class formula, and the stats itself aren't going to be that. It's technically a sports car, and obviously it's not going to have braking 5 or whatever. And I talked about it in my other video. There's no engine bay size anymore. But yeah, I hope you found this useful. As you can see, one thing I didn't really pick up was the like the dithering on the rear fender of the car. I'm looking at that now, and I really like that. It kind of makes it look like that chunky fender that it actually does have on the car. I was kind of matching the light, which I don't always do, but I think it worked in this case. I'm still making progress with Take It Racing 2. It's not going as quickly as I would like it. I would love for this game to be done, but I am trying to make sure that I make it as good as I can. I'm really hoping to, release this on a cartridge, have like an instruction manual with it, and make sure that the actual gameplay, the actual, racing is intuitive. I got, sometimes random people come across this game on itch and you see this one says confuse me. And I need help some circuit racing. And I do completely agree that there's no tutorial right now. I remember when I first made it, there was a tutorial. It wasn't a great tutorial, but there was one. And I have thought of different ways for making this way more new player friendly. Introducing color, like color mode into it to make it a bit more, like using icons and everything to tell the player what they should be paying attention to. And I'm hoping that will help the game immensely. I'll put my patrons up on the screen right now. Thank you so much to you guys. You guys are the best. But yeah, that's it for now, guys. Let me know what you thought about this in the comments. If you thought that the time-lapse was useful. I might upload it to the Instagram page, so make sure you go follow that if you're interested. Remember to like the video if you liked the video. Subscribe if you haven't already. Comment on what you want to see next, what you thought of this one. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Thank you so much for watching.